Okay, welcome. Welcome. And today I'm Coach Holly. I'm with Coach Katie, and we are talking about holiday planning for the holidays, or we are between Thanksgiving and Christmas right now. And I know personally, a lot of my clients fall off of everything between Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're just like, I got too much Christmas shopping to do. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to plan this. I have to, I have to bake stuff for my blah, blah, whatever. So we want to talk about how do you handle, how can you stay on track, in the holidays, right? Between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's a huge time. Like, do you feel like you have clients? Like I feel like I have clients, like, especially at my gym, if we have like group fitness classes, which like last year we weren't even having them then, but normally the way it would go is attendance is way off. Like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're maybe going to get half of the people in a group fitness class or less. And so what happens if they disappear between Thanksgiving and Christmas and even into the new year? And then of course the new year comes and they've got a good 4 to 5 weeks that they've just been MIA, right? Is that what you see too?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like it's just like this trickle down effect. And as soon as Thanksgiving hits, it's like they're just gone, or like they're really disappearing quickly. And like we were talking, the holiday parties, right? Like they start as soon as Thanksgiving. Some people I know had Christmas this last weekend, and it's just like, if you're married or you work somewhere, or you have kids because they have their school events that you have to attend as well. Moms
It's a
and
Christmas
dads to go
play.
to, yeah, grandmas and grandpas, like it's like trying to see everybody and then attend all of these holiday parties. And then if you live somewhere where people are coming home, like your friends come back to their hometowns, then they want to get together. So lots of different events, like we were talking about, that you have to attend. And how do you start to plan around that and maintain your consistency? Because I think what hurts me the most when I watch women especially go all year doing really, really well, and you're kind of like building this momentum and creating this momentum, and then after summer we can create a lot of momentum because summers are crazy, and then we get into like this fall where you can kind of fall into this really great routine. And if you can maintain that routine through Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're golden. Like you get to keep whatever you've been working for. If you can't figure out how to maintain that routine, my expert opinion is you're going to just start over, and you're just going to keep starting over and over and over again until you can find that consistency through all of these different life circumstances. And I think holiday events makes it one of those make it or break it situations for a lot of people.
Right. Because I see it happen, all throughout the year. There's always something, right? There's always an event, or there always is a party. And I've said this before on our talks, but like birthday parties and whatever, right? But like, I think people get to Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving, it starts with Black Friday shopping, right? And then it's like people just, and like as a coach, it's like the deflated balloon, right? You're like, don't do it. Like, don't just quit. Like, because the problem is like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, people just they vow to themselves, that's my only option, is just to quit. And it's like, you can do, like, you can even just, you don't have to be on maybe even the same exact schedule, but you can maintain what you have earned all year. If you stop, you are seriously going backwards for that 4 to 5 weeks. And because that time is the time that you really need to be focused and hard on getting at least X number of training sessions in a week or something. Like, I don't think people understand, like, the severity of the damage that you can do to yourself by just totally giving up for a month. Like, there's a difference between like a deload or a training break or whatever that is planned, and there's there's a plan put into place. You've got an action plan, right? But if you've got 4 to 5 weeks from Thanksgiving to New Year that you just basically say, screw it, I quit, I'm not doing anything. Like, number one, you've kind of halted your progress right out of the gate. But number two, your holiday calories are probably way higher than they even were before. So you're actually going backwards. Like,
Yeah,
not
you're
only
just
are you
adding
doing
insult
less,
to injury, right? Like you just add insult to injury, and by the time we get to the new year and resolutions, we just start beating ourselves up, and we come into it with this guilt and this shame that shouldn't necessarily be there. Um,
and there's
I
a way
am
to avoid it.
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna take I am gonna take this opportunity and be like, I want to toot my own horn here. So about a year ago, I made a shift in my business. And it was, financially, it felt like for clients that it was like this big chunk of cash. But I moved from letting people pay me per session for the most part. So I gave them the option to do a 12-month agreement. And what that meant was is they could choose 1, 2, or 3 sessions. Some people have chosen 4 per week. And they were guaranteed their time slot and they've already paid it, right? They've already made that payment, put that in the bank. So when this time is coming now, I've had girls that go on vacation over the summer. They still call me from the hotel. They still get on and they do their training because they've already put that on their calendar. They've already scheduled me. They've already said, I'm working with you 4 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever it is. I'm going out to Salt Lake City, Utah next week. And all of my 12-month agreement clients are still getting on at the regular scheduled times. They're coming to the gym. They're jumping on a live call with me, and they're still going to get their training done. So there are ways to make it happen. And I think some people are afraid of like putting that down payment on themselves, making that investment and saying, yes, I'm going to show up. And so if that's what it takes, do it, because I'm the one calling them saying like, hey, I only have you on the books for two sessions. We've got 3 a week. That's your contract, right? When's the 3rd session this week? And so they find a time, they schedule around things and they find a time. And so it's absolutely doable to be consistent with your training through the holidays.
Well, okay. So what about the people though that are not in like a 12-month contract? Let's just talk people that aren't even coaching with us. Let's just talk people in general, the general public, because this is what I see. They fall off, they stay off for 4 to 5 weeks. So what could they do? Like, obviously, if they had a coach, it would be better to have somebody to stay on them, right? But like, I think that I want to just emphasize how important it is to have some type of plan through the holidays. Like, even if it has to be adjusted, don't have the all or nothing mentality. It is the worst time of the year to have this all or nothing mentality. And I see this year after year after year. It's after Thanksgiving. People have eaten too much at Thanksgiving, and then they just vow to like do nothing. They'll get back on at the new year, right? But how important is it? Like, this is what I want to stress, how important it is to have some type of consistency, even if it's not the same amount. Like, I wish I had like study results from, like, I wish I had data that showed how much better off, like the results, like how much better off you would be. Let's just say you're a client. Let's say you've got people that train like 4 days a week, right? So let's say if your clients that train 4 days a week, instead of having the all or nothing mentality and quitting between Thanksgiving and the new year, what if they just committed to 2 times a week? Are they going to be able to like maintain what they have? Because I feel like, yes, I think you could probably maintain on a couple of sessions a week. So instead of going backwards through the holidays, you're kind of staying where you are. You're not losing. You shouldn't be losing at that point anything that you've gained. You should be able to maintain. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree, because here's the deal. And this happens whether they're coming to me and they're coaching, or you're still getting in your training and you're still making it happen, is even if you're right now working out 5 days a week and you cut it down to 2 days a week, you are still setting that precedence, subconsciously, even, that you haven't given up. You've not thrown in the towel. It's not all or nothing. And what we know from training, from studies, is that when you train, it translates to other things throughout the rest of your day, right? Especially, I mean, I don't say especially, but they did the study for people that trained in the morning and what the choices were that they were making the rest of the day because they had trained. Non-training days, the choices were harder to make healthy lifestyle choices in the same vein of what their goals were. I tell people, make a list of priorities. And most of the time people are, drinking their water, tracking their food, eating their breakfasts and their lunches and their dinners and planning and prepping and training and all of the things, right? Stretching. And there's like 10 things that you could be doing on any given day as part of your healthy personal fitness routine. Make a list and choose 3 that are your top priorities. And if nothing else happens that day, see if you can get those 3 in. Maybe it's, at least getting in your water in the morning, right? At least eating vegetables at one of your meals, at least moving your body in some way that is going to help you kind of maintain your mobility, your strength, your stamina, all of those things. And I think that we do fall into that all or nothing, when in reality, we need to give ourselves a lot of grace and even celebrate the hell out of us sticking in it, even if we have to, pull it back a little bit. Everybody needs to dial it back at one point or another. It's okay to dial it back now, but quitting shouldn't be an option.
Yeah. I mean, and I've got several clients who, it's not even been the holidays and they have disappeared, and it'll be, I don't know, probably give them 3 months. They're back to where they were when they started with me, and then they're coming back. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, why did you stop to begin with? Because and it's like, sometimes you can't convince somebody of this. It's like, have you ever heard people and they're like, I just need a break. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't need a break. You might need to change things up. But again, it's that all or nothing mentality. So, don't, I mean, and I say this all the time, like, consistency is the key. Do not quit what you're doing. It is so much easier just to slow down, change things, change your method of training for a couple weeks if you need to, but don't just stop. Don't be like, I need a break. No, you don't. You might need a change of scenery. You might need a program change. You might need to change something totally different, but you don't need to stop. Like, you don't need to stop. Just like if you need a deload, you might need a deload if you have gotten to the point where you have been lifting so heavy for so long, so many weeks, that your joints hurt, things ache. That's your body telling you, okay, you need a bit of a deload. That doesn't mean quit. You don't quit everything you're doing. You change to a different method. I might need a deload week where I'm just doing some yoga. I'm doing like mobility work. I'm not lifting as heavy like all the time. If I got to that point, then yeah, I just need a break. But you don't need a break. You just need to change your method for a little bit. And that may be what you need to do in the holidays, but you don't need to quit, and you don't need the all or nothing mentality.
I agree. Okay, before we have to jump off here, because I know you have to go, but because this just goes right into it. You are like right now in this whole month running a challenge group for this exact reason, right?
Right.
And they've just finished up their whole first week.
Yeah. So we just started. We just started Monday after Thanksgiving. So this is like week 1, and I would say, I don't know, I'm gonna say 30% of the people in my challenge group have done their daily steps. 60% have not.
Oh, wow.
So, they may join as a way to try to stay on track. That doesn't mean they're going to.
That's
like
crazy.
You got to make a commitment in your mind, no matter what the program is. Like, this is why I say, like, I feel like the longer length programs are better because the people are making the commitment. So like really my challenge group is kind of an encouragement to get in the app, to know what the app does, but to move on to one-on-one like
Yeah.
training in the app, right? But yes, I mean people do it and they're like, well, you know, and they and it's kind of the same mentality. Like they feel like if they miss a few days, this is like where I have to go in and be like total encouragement. Like, look at your calendar. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so maybe your first week wasn't like checks on every day. That's okay. Fill in the rest of the month, right? Fill in all of December. Like every day, y'all, is like a day to get something done. And just because maybe you didn't get something done yesterday doesn't mean you have to stay on that cycle, you know? Like,
I love that. I love that. Okay, so in like just to wrap it up, guys, do not give up this holiday season. You are not like everybody else. If you're watching this movie, clearly, right? Like you're looking for a reason to stick into it, and this is your reason. Be consistent, find a way to be consistent. It's okay to dial it back, but don't throw in the towel. Find out what your priorities are and just go out and make something happen. Like every day, even if you screw up today, tomorrow is a brand new opportunity to make something happen, to get something done. So yeah,
right.
go do it. Right? Pep talk from Coach Katie. Woo!
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, well, that's our pep talk for the day. And so anyway, if you have questions for us, feel free to drop them in comments here. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're in the group on Facebook, same thing. Reach out anytime, and we are here for y'all.
All right. Thanks, Coach
All right,
Hallie.
have a good day. Bye.
Bye.